Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
no problem. I started the recording. Okay, I started recording. I'll send it to you. Thank you. So let's say you have to create an environment 10 times. You have to create a VPC, you have to create a subnet, you have to create internet gateways, give CIDR to that, and then create instances in it. So you have to create that time again and again and again for a particular customer. Then it becomes a very cumbersome act when you do go to VPC, click on create VPC, type all of those things. There is always a scope of human error. So what we would like to do is do it more intelligently and do it with the help of scripts, or Amazon gives something inbuilt where you can do the formation of your entire infrastructure using cloud formation. So if I go to cloud formation, I will have the options of creating a stack. A stack is nothing but an environment that you want to create. An environment can have anything. An environment can have S3 buckets, environment can have VPC instances, and instances are of course launched in VPCs. Load balancers. So any task of repetitive nature, if they have to be done again and again, they are done using cloud formation. So AWS Cloud Formation, as it's written here, allows you to quickly and easily deploy your infrastructure resources, not just once, but multiple times. Okay? So it has three options. Number one, create a stack. Number two, design a template, or create a template from your existing resources. Let's go ahead and pick up create new stack, and instead of selecting any of these options, I'll say design a template. I don't want to choose a template, I want to design my own template, right? On the left side, you will see all the resources that Amazon is providing. On the right side is a blank slate. In the bottom is the script. It's an empty script so far. So let's talk about an environment where you have to create a VPC with a CIDR of 192.168.0.0.16. You have to create two subnets, private subnet and public subnet. Public subnet is 192.168.30.0/24 and private subnet is 192.168.40.0/24. It's a small infrastructure. And of course, within that you will be hosting instances. If you have to do that 100 times, you have to go to that VPC, create and all that, but then we got to do it more intelligently. So I'll scroll down to the section where I will see VPC. It's inside EC2. So I'll scroll down further, and you know what, I'll click on this and drag and drop VPC to the blank slate. It has created that picture for me. Okay, now what I can do is, as soon as I dragged and dropped into this blank slate, in the bottom pane you saw that it's wrote a script. Now every object or every resource that Amazon is providing has certain properties. Like what? VPC has a property of CIDR. VPC has a property of name, whether it should have IPv6 or not, whether it should be giving elastic IPs or public IP addresses or not. All of those things are the properties of that, and you have to mention that, right? And those things you mention inside these two curly brackets, right? So I will hit enter, right, and type CIDR block equals, is it equals or colon, or is it uppercase B and uppercase C, right? What is it? So it's sometimes we really will not be able to recollect that and remember it, right? So that is where we'll make use of documentation. What is the documentation? What are the different properties or acceptable properties in the JSON script. The script that it is making in the bottom is called as JSON script. So let's make use of documentation and figure out what those properties are. Now with experience, I can tell you that it is CIDR and everything is in lowercase. It is really case sensitive. Okay. So I will go ahead and copy this part, Control C, open a new tab and paste it there. And click on the first link, which will give me that respective documentation which is related to VPC. Now it has got syntax, properties, values, examples and more info. So these are the properties that I was talking about. Okay, it says uppercase C and uppercase B. Okay. It changed. So what I'm going to do is copy all of that. Now if I want to look at examples, I'll simply click on example. And these are the examples that it has, right? So let me just copy all of that. And everything inside the curly bracket, and go back to my JSON script and remove this and paste it. Now my properties are ready. It gave you some error message, designer is out of date, hit refresh. Refresh is on the top right hand side, just click on refresh. It's gone. So this guy will get a CIDR block of 10, 0, 0, 16, whatever, and I don't want that. I'll modify it. Every time you modify it, it says it's going to be updating, but we'll do it all at once. Enable DNS support. Let's make it true. That is cases. Enable DNS host names. Yeah, let's make it true. Instance tenancy dedicated. No, I don't want it to be dedicated. I want it to be default. But how do I know that it is default? Is it yes? Enable DNS host names. Is it yes, no, true, false, 1, 0? What is the value it is accepting? So I can go back there and look at what are the accepted values. So here, enable host names. The values that are accepted are true and false, not yes and no. In tenancy, it is accepting default and dedicated. Okay, so you got to be looking at the documentation there. Okay, so it will be true, case sensitive, right? I can go ahead and change these as well. Tag name. The value is VPC using CloudFormation. The name is VPC. Value is created using. Okay, I'll go ahead and refresh it. Alright, so that's that. My VPC will be created quickly with that script. Okay, now what do we have inside a VPC? Can somebody answer that?
Subnets.
Yes, actually I'm unable to resize it. There is a way you can resize it. I should be getting, the on the right side I'll get a small dot or something to change the size of it. The width is, it looks like a square. I can change it to a rectangle. It's not giving me that option now. Anyways, to get the documentation, I can also right click and then click on this question mark. It takes me to the next page, and of course open respective documentation for that object that's being selected. See, same thing. So instead of doing a copy paste from here, I can do right click and then click on the question mark over there. But what I'm looking for is to change the width and dimensions of this box. It looks like a square. I want to change it to a rectangle to fit in more objects inside this. Are you doing with me? Do you have your screen open?
No, I'm doing this with mobile.
Okay, anyways. So inside this I will have something called as a subnet. I'll drag and drop the subnet inside that. And now you see the subnet has populated. The subnet script has populated. But where is the VPC script? If I scroll down, that's all I see. I don't see VPC script at all. But I click on it. When I click on the VPC, I will see VPC thing. When I click on subnet, I will see subnet script. Subnet script. But I do not see a collaborative script of VPC and subnet, which you will be able to see in the template section, right? So if I scroll down further, here you will have VPC, scroll down further, subnet. So in template, you will have the whole script. In components, you will have the script which is pertaining to the object which you dragged and dropped into the blank slate, okay, which makes modifying it much easier. By the way, in the template section, you have resizing, width and height, positioning. Let's try to modify that. So I'll say width is 180. And, 180 is too less for it. Make it 300. Double it up. It's not changing. Yeah, that makes much better. Following me, right? Following me, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and drag and drop. Instead of 300, I'll make it like 400. So that makes it much better. Okay, and I'll drag and drop another subnet over here. It's resources too large to fit in the parent. Okay, so this is the boxes that I was talking about. I want these boxes. Should strange. Okay, now we got to look at properties of the subnet. What are the properties of the subnet? Again, like this, CIDR block. Now I don't want to do so much hard work. Just look at the documentation and click on properties, which is this, right? Or I can simply scroll down to JSON, copy paste these properties. Now you will also see some of them are required attributes. Mandatory, availability zone is not mandatory. CIDR block is mandatory, required, yes. Okay, so you got to take a look at them as well. VPC ID is mandatory. So some of them are mandatory, some of them are not. So I'll go back here, go to properties section, paste it, and I'll remove this VPC ID as it's already defined in the bottom over here. Okay, and change the CIDR block because this will not be accepted because mine is 192.168. 192.168. Let's say 30/24. I'll keep it in US East 1A. But I need to check if US East 1A is available in North Virginia, right? So what I'll say,
Yeah.
regions in AWS. So US East 1A is in North Virginia. Okay, that's good. So we are covered there. That's good. We'll give it a tags, key, value, subnet, public. Okay. It also needs to have a name attribute. That's not mandatory, but then let's still give it. That's in VPC. We don't need VPC anymore. But what I will need is right click, a subnet. I need to give a name. VPC ID is good. Yeah, VPC ID is a string, right? So VPC ID is there. How do I give it a name? Oh, the name is right here. This is the name. This part is the name. EC2 S2 eGen. That is the name. You can modify that if you want. Then I'll go and click. That's already done. Yeah. One thing to keep in mind is if you type anything incorrectly, it it will remove the whole thing. 30.0/24, that's that. And you need to have a comma after every statement. Okay, the last one does not need a comma. Decided block that. That's good, right? Sounds good. Let's leave these values as you know. It's good. So click on this, go back. If I click on this and go back, and if the script is still there, that means we are on right track. If it goes away, then we are not. Next is we don't need this. Cider block 92.168.8.50/24, and I'll put that in 1C. Give that a name, and the value is the private. That's it. Comma, and this needs to have a comma as well. The last one does not need a comma. Let me go back to here and show it to you. Look at this. Look at this example very carefully. After every property, you have a comma. Here you have a comma, but the last one does not have a comma. Right? The last one does not need a comma. So that's what I did. The tags is not the last one over here. VPC ID is the last one, and this does not need a comma. So I'll swap here, and my code still exists, so I don't have to worry. The code exists, so it's good. Are you good so far?
Yes.
What else do we need? Internet gateway, right? Forgot? Internet gateway.
Yeah, IJW and route tables.
Right. Now there are a couple of these blue buttons and purple buttons to each one of them. Purple stands for depends on, blue is a connection. Now this one needs to be connected to the VPC. So I will go ahead and connect it like this. Does not connect. It's crazy. Okay, it got connected. So my internet gateway is now connected to the VPC. Is that good, guys? You also need routes.
Yeah.
Route table, you need routes and route table. No, you can just continue like that. Put EC2 instances. EC2 instances has a lot of properties. So let's just run this one and see if this gets created. So I'll just click on this cloud button. So even before I click on this cloud button here, there's a download button. I can click on that and it downloads that as a picture. So you can share it with somebody as an architectural diagram as to what you plan to create. Alright.
Yeah.
So I'll click on this one, and before even I click on create stack, I'll save it. You can either save it as a local file, it will get downloaded. When I click on save, this new template will get downloaded, and that is a JSON script that you will see. And or either I can save it inside my Amazon bucket, Amazon S3 bucket. And when I click on save, I'll give it a name like my infra and save it. So I will get a publicly accessible link. I'll copy that. Strange things happening today. I'm not able to select that. But anyways, it will have my name here, my infra, etc. I'll say okay, right? And then I'll try to upload that into the stack. If there is anything wrong, it will not create it. Okay. So you see that you're specifying Amazon URL. Let's see if that is right. No, we gave a different name, right? So you can upload a template to S3 or specify Amazon URL. Let's go to S3 and see if it's actually there. Yeah. So I should have my, it's not there, isn't it? I should have had my link over here. any which ways. What I'm going to do is, since I have a file, I'll choose file, and since I downloaded that, it's a new dot template, say open, and say next. Getting it right?
Yeah.
Bandhavi, okay? Bandhavi, alright for this so far? Any questions? Yeah? I didn't get a confirmation. Bandhavi, should we stop or should I explain that again? Any questions? Okay, I'll go ahead and create that. Okay. So that's in progress. I'll just refresh this page to see what's going on. It says rollback in progress. That means there is some problem. Okay. It should have said creation in progress. Instead it said rollback in progress. So there is some problem out here. So let's go ahead and click on my VPC using CF and see what is the problem. I'll scroll down and read from the bottom. It says delete creation in progress, creation failed. So VPC creation has failed. Key not found in tags property, and expand that. This also failed. Internet gateway failed. Resource creation cancelled. So there is all dependencies. It failed. So the problem is that there is some problem with it. What's going on? I'm actually sitting in a three-bedroom hall kitchen at about 9:40 in this building, the entire building, which is 5 floors. There is nobody. So, including the watchman, there is nobody in this 5 floor building, and there is all the lights are closed. It's a commercial building, and with this noise, that really scares me. Although I don't believe in ghosts and phantoms, but the sound was really scary. I'm a strong-hearted person, but then this 5 floors has nobody. The watchman is sleeping. I'm not sure where that is. All the lights in all the three bedrooms are off, and this is the only room that has light on with a flickering light, and that noise really scared me. Okay. And I was looking behind as to who that guy is. Anyways, so there's some problem. The creation of VPC, it says that key tag not found. So when you're practicing on your own, you will face challenges like this um, when you will see that it may fail, but then don't panic because it will give you the reason as to why it failed, right? So we'll go ahead and revisit our code. So I'll go back to, in fact, you can say the stacks and look at our template, scroll up, select the stack, I select that, and it shows me the entire code that we created. Now it failed during the VPC creation. So I'll scroll down to the point where it says VPC, and it says that there is a problem with the tags. Value equals created using CloudFormation. Okay. So that's the first thing that failed. Let's give it another shot here. Design template. EC2 subnet. No, VPC. Scroll that there. Yeah, these are the things that I was talking about. The boxes which you can drag and drop and do things. Properties. I will just right click here, go to the question mark there, and look at the example, and copy and paste. And the tags are really not mandatory here. Tags required no. Okay, so I'll just enter and paste that. Now the CIDR that we are looking for is that, which is good. And I will change these properties, make it true, and this one is default. Okay. Key value is that let's leave it the way it is for now, and I'll put another subnet inside that and quickly add on some attributes to that as well. And scroll down, give that properties, copy only the properties and not rest of the things, and go back to CloudFormation. In the properties section, copy and paste that and say 192.168.40.0/24. That's good. So let's try to play around with that one and save it as an S3 bucket. My infra 2. I don't want it to save in the S3 bucket. Okay, I can copy it here, copy that link and upload it to cloud. As the button says, upload it. It will take you to the same screen as you saw earlier as to what you want to do with that. You can specify an Amazon URL. I'll take off what is there and then paste it from my clipboard. Now it says my infra 2. I'm happy with that, and hit next. And the stack name is my infra 2 that I want to give a chance. Next, and just leave those things for now as you know what they are, and create it. Let's see what happens now. So I'll just refresh it and see what's going on. Creation is in progress, so let's click on that to see what's going on here. Again, roll back, something failed, right? Creation is in progress. VPC failed because maximum number of VPCs has reached, which sounds good. At least there is no problem with my code. Now I'll go back to my EC2 section and remove or delete one of the VPCs, because the limit for VPCs is 5. The maximum number of VPCs that you can have with your ID is 5. But you can of course go ahead and contact Amazon to increase the limits that you have on your account. So it's really seems to be 5. I'll delete this, actions delete, and it's going to ask me, do you want to delete everything that's related with your VPC, your subnets, internet gateways, routings, VPN connections? Just say delete. No, we could not delete. Okay, there's a problem here. There's a problem with this guy, so I'll just leave it the way it is. Classroom, actions delete. Yeah. It's still doing that, and while it is doing that, okay, it's done. So I'll go back to my cloud formation and see what it got. Yes, it's a rollback, right? This is the second one, so I gotta go ahead and reinitiate it, right? Actions, create change set. I want to change certain things, use current template, or I can put that in this and say next. Change set name, test one, next. Key name, CF, VPC, and keep it going. Next, my infra 2 is now updated. Create change set is in rollback state. So yeah, anything that is in rollback state cannot be updated, right? So the only option that I have is to go back and create again. So I'll go ahead and delete these two. So you are seeing the challenges here, right?
Yeah.
So create stack. I'll try to do that one more time. But before I show you the same story again, I'd like to show you certain things. Infrastructure is of different types. Infrastructure can contain load balancers, Apache servers, LAMP. Have you heard of LAMP? L, LAMP. LAMP stack means Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, databases. So you can select from the drop-down menus to see what you want. Do you want a WordPress blog? Do you want Windows machines? Do you want Ruby on Rails stack, WordPress blogs, everything? You can select them and it will create that stack for you automatically. On the bottom, the more interesting concept is sample templates. You click on that, it will take you to a website, the Amazon website itself, where you'll get tons and tons of sample templates. Just click on template samples. You can go ahead and create any kind of infrastructure that you want. I've clicked on it actually, but it's just browsing there and going there. So yeah, so what kind of template are you looking for? You can select from any of them. Do you want an EC2 template? So in that I can select let's say EC2 template snippets, and I want something that has EC2 instance resource. So it gives you those attributes directly. But I wanted to show you something else. Just a minute, let me pick that up from the documentation. Here, sample templates. Right. So if I scroll down here, it says, do you want to create a load based on auto scaling? Creates an auto scaling group with scaling. So it's just a description that it is giving. Creates an auto scaling group with updated policy that keeps two instances running during a rolling update. This guy creates an EC2 volume and AWS config rules that will check all EC2 volumes that are required. So you can actually click on this and then look at the picture as to how you set that up. When you click on view designer, it will create all that picture for you automatically because it is predefined. And if you want that kind of environment, you can simply click on upload and it creates that environment for you automatically. Right? It gives you, yeah. So it created that infrastructure for you. So if you want, you can go ahead and modify these values that they have. You can modify these values as per you want it, right? As per your infrastructure. So there are a bunch of samples here, lots of samples. Scroll down and it never ends. There's a lot of them. Hit next and it will take you to the next page. You got lots of these, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So for now, I'll go ahead and select the same thing, my infra 2. Next, give it a name, stack, my stack. Next, I'll just leave it the way it is. Hit next, create, and let's see what is it giving me an error now. And I gotta hit refresh. Creation in progress. I should have subnets created now. Okay, still doing the VPC thing. After that, it will do subnets. Okay, again failed. CIDR block cannot be empty. That's awesome. Okay, that's good. It's gonna roll back. So now I'll click on this one, view edit in template designer. CIDR block of this is empty. The properties are not mentioned, specified over here. So there was something incorrect, right? So where are the properties of the subnet? Yeah, right here. That's it. So I'll copy this, just these two as the mandatory values. Go back to my stack. and paste it and say I want this to be 192.168.30.24, and yeah, that's okay. That's it. So I'll refresh it, swap between EC2 between VPC and subnet. Yeah, that sounds good as well. And I will now save it in a different bucket, name it infra 3, save it there. It will give me an accessible HTTP link. Copy that, say okay, upload it, and yeah, do that. Infra 3, okay, next, and try your luck now. Next, next, create that. Now let's see what happens. Okay, refresh that, refresh it, refresh it. Click on that and see what's going on inside. So VPC creation is in progress. Hit F5 on the keyboard. Okay, creation is still in progress. Hit F5 on the keyboard. Creation is still in progress. Okay, VPC creation is complete. Now it should go ahead and create the subnet. So yeah, subnet is creation in progress. Okay, that's that. Hit refresh again. You don't have to hit it refresh. Just hitting refresh out of curiosity and I have no work, but you don't have to. So yes, that is complete. It says creation is complete. So I'll go back to my cloud formation, look at stacks, and say creation is complete. But what I'm going to do now is go back to my actual VPC and see if it's actually created a VPC and a subnet inside that. Okay. Right. So I'll click on VPCs. So that's the VPC. I did not give it a name. 192.168.0.0/16. It should have just one subnet inside that, which I'm gonna. Okay, this is 27, right? So I'll go inside subnets and see what's there. I should have one subnet with what was the subnet ID? This one, right? 30.0/24. Are you following me? The whole of the entire story, which said
Yes.
Yes.
lots of error messages, lots of troubleshooting, and we fixed those problems. You know why? So in this VPC, we gave DNS resolution as yes, DNS host name says yes. So that's how it is. Now sky is the limit. You want to create what kind of infrastructure? Just drag and drop those components and play around with that.
Yeah.
And we got as I showed you, there are a lot of templates inside that. Where is it? Close this, close this, close that, close that. Yeah, close this. So when you click on sample templates, you will be able to see all the templates that can be created with the help of AWS. Now here, minor modification here and there, and you should be able to create it as per your requirements. You want to create EC2 or Route 53 or identity and access management or load balancing. Let's see what we got in load balancing. It creates an elastic load balancing and an auto scaling group that receives traffic only from a load balancer. So got a couple of options here. So click on view in designer and see how that looks like. So first thing that you need to do is do not go ahead and start creating cloud formation thing yourself. Go and look at the templates and see what they have done. What are those arrows stand for? What are those links? See how they have connected. What's inside that? Web scaling. What are the properties inside that? And scroll down and try to understand. If you don't understand that, just copy and paste into Google or just right click and click on the question mark to see what the documentation is. So initially we are just working in read-only mode, and rather than jumping into it directly, right?
Yes.
Now, I would also suggest you to go to Google and type in AWS CLI and hit enter. click on that thing, aws.amazon.com/CLI. Go there. I'll put that in the chat for the benefit of everybody. And on the top right hand side, depending on what kind of operating system you got, if you got Windows, I've got Windows, so I'll select that. If you got Mac or Linux, select that. I think Bandhavi's got Mac, so you'll go for this one, Python. You install that and run that command. And then for Windows, Vivek, for people like you and me, Windows fans, I'll go for 64-bit and install that. Yeah. So you'll install that, and yeah, once that is installed, you will be able to create infrastructure using command line. Isn't that great? You can just go to command prompt and type AWS, and it does not say command not accepted or command not recognized. It is trying to do something. Otherwise, if I type some garbage on the screen, it's going to give output as a garbage, but it gives me something that I can understand. It says AWS. Okay, AWS is something I recognize, but you got to use something more syntaxes than that. So let me show you something. AWS EC2 and say describe -VPC. VPCs. Yeah, hit enter. It should list down all the VPCs that I have. Can I create VPCs? Yes. AWS is not able to validate access credentials. Well, yeah. You know what? This command prompt is on my laptop, but the credentials or the VPC is in my account, which I logged in with my username, my password, and my multi-factor authentication, the Google Authenticator thing. We did not do any authentication here with the command prompt, right? So when I do AWS EC2 describe -VPCs to look at all the VPCs I got, whose account should it go to? Your account, my account, whose account should it go to? So there's some kind of authentication it should do. So I should configure my laptop to connect to a particular account. And that's where the AWS CLI or the programmatic access comes into picture. Now you might have heard of access keys and secret IDs, right? Secret IDs. So I think you downloaded the Cloudberry tool to upload things, right? So you have to use the same CLIs over here. Guys, any questions so far?
No.
No.
No? Okay, good. So let's go ahead and configure this, my command prompt for CLI access. I'll do AWS. The command is plain, simple, straightforward, English. Configure. Enter. Okay, now it says, hey boss, who are you? Right? I need to type in my access key ID. Now I'm not a Superman to remember that. So I'll go to Identity and Access Management and get the secret access keys and password for our friend, which is root. So root access keys, manage security credentials, continue. So I am getting the access keys for whom? For the root account. I can't even delete it. Okay, create new access key and show secret access key. Hey, don't take a screenshot, okay? So I'll paste that and hit enter and copy that and paste it. Now it asks me, okay, your user ID and password is that, but in which region do you want to operate from now onward? So I would love to do that in, I'm not sure where all my VPCs are there. I think it's North Virginia. North Virginia is what? US East, right? I don't remember. So I'll say AWS regions, right? Yeah, I think 99.9% it is US-East-1. Yeah, now it's 100%. US-East-1. And now it asks for output format. What do you want? Do you want a text format as an output? Or do you want me to create a script for you? Type JSON. Or do you want to create, get the output in a tabular format? You can type that. Now these are the only three ones that are accepted. Which are what? Text, JSON and table. Guys, am I talking too much today? Is that enough? Should we stop or continue? Was it interesting?
No, you can continue.
Still is authentication here.
Okay. So do text here or say let's rather give table. Okay. That's it. We're done. You know what? It did not authenticate me. It has just saved those credentials somewhere. Authentication is not yet done. The secret access key ID, the garbage out there, and the secret access key password, the garbage that's pasted over there, it has not authenticated me towards the AWS. It's not authenticated. Just copied and pasted and saved it somewhere. Somewhere? Where? It's going to save it in user profile, which is just type user profile percentage, hit enter, and there will be a folder called AWS. Double click on that. These are the two files where it has stored. Double click on config and say notepad, and it's saved that, and double click notepad. I'll double click on it. Caution, do not take the screenshot. So that's my secret ID and password. Right? Done. Close.
Okay. Right.
Now you have the recording anyway, so so that's it.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do EC2 describe VPCs. Let's see what it says. Wow, it's writing a lot of things. Okay, so I have the VPC called do not use VPC. Scroll up, there's another VPC called my data center, and I got attributes to that accordingly. Scroll up, my IHT data center, my infra 3, which was created with CloudFormation, and Anthony VPC, which I use it for another person whose name is Anthony. So yeah, so I can get that with, it's just not a read-only format. You can do with AWS, EC2, and because I know I can type describe hyphen instances, I use that. But then if I'm new to that, I would learn from it and say help me out, right? And it will give you bunch of commands that you can type. It says more, just keep hitting enter and you can use all of these commands. One of them is create instance, create image out of the instance, create internet gateway, create NAT gateway, copy an image, copy a snapshot, import task. So see, create subnet, create volume. So again, sky is the limit. You can delete VPCs, lot of them. Yeah. In fact, let's go ahead and create. Let's go ahead and delete a VPC and see how that goes. I want to delete a VPC. Can I delete this? Can I delete this? Can I delete this VPC? Some of my VPCs have a problem, so I may not be able to delete that. So anyways, let's give it a try. Nothing wrong in trying. AWS EC2 describe no delete hyphen VPC, right? Is it delete hyphen VPC or delete hyphen VPCs, plural or singular? Oh, singular, delete hyphen VPC right here. Okay, scroll down, delete hyphen VPC, and I don't know what to type. What I'm going to say, help, right? So I'm just teaching you how do you learn, how do you take it forward. You don't have to remember anything because there is enormous documentation here. Okay, so it says delete hyphen VPC, delete hyphen VPC hyphen VPC hyphen ID, and now I'll try to do that and see what happens. Okay, following me?
Yes.
Dependent. Yeah, give me an error. It has dependencies and cannot be deleted. Yeah, that is something we are aware of because there are other dependencies out there. I could not do it. Even this I cannot delete. But any which ways, that's the concept. Following me, right? This is not rocket science, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Good so far?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Alright. Now, let's go back to CloudFormation. It's got create complete. That's good. But what if I want to delete the whole infrastructure? let's say I got VPCs and couple of subnets inside that, few internet gateways, routes, and multiple instances inside that, all of them created with CloudFormation.
This stack.
I want to delete them. I just want to go ahead and delete all of them. What do? Right click here, actions, delete. Now I can go to CloudFormation and select that and click on delete stack. You know what? It will go ahead and delete the whole stack, including the real objects and resources that were created. Right? So again, there is no manual effort. If I refresh it, ideally I should have 4 out of 5 VPCs now. Right? Come on. Yeah, so let's see what's going on here. I'll go and click on this and see what's going on in the logs. Right, create complete, delete submit, delete complete, and now it is deleting the VPC. Hit F5 on the keyboard to refresh the page. Once it is done, it's going to say done, but patience is not there. No patience at all. Hit refresh again. Oh, delete complete. Okay, I'm going to go and hit refresh to see if it actually got deleted. Well, wow, it did. Right? So with the help of CloudFormation, you can create the entire infrastructure as well as delete the infrastructure by creating a stack and deleting a stack. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is that interesting?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Great then. I think we had a good time today. Madhavi, you scared me.
Sorry, I am at my cousin's place, and that's my nephew, so
Right.
he's making weird sounds.
Yeah. But you made me recollect my forefathers. You are with your cousins, but my forefathers.
I'm sorry for that. So I just came to the other room. So.
That's fine. It's all about having fun and learn while we have fun. So it's about that. Unless you have any questions, yeah. You know what? Make my life tough tomorrow. Come back with lots of questions and do practice, do some labs, and we're gonna take it off tomorrow. Another great day tomorrow. So yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye-bye.